Now, before moving forward towards the etiology of the breech presentation, let us see what is the law of accommodation, where the fetus naturally adapts its position to settle inside the uterine cavity. So, it is the law of accommodation. So, around 28th week of pregnancy, when the lady visits our clinic for the antenatal checkup, we routinely perform the abdominal examination. So, here we find that the incidence rate of breech presentation findings are more. This is so because the fetus is relatively smaller in size than that of the uterine cavity. So, for fetus to move, there is ample amount of space for its movement or for its rotation, and the amniotic fluid amount is also in the large quantity, so there is a spontaneous virgin by kicking movement of fetus which causes the fetal rotation. So these are the findings which we found around 28th week of pregnancy. But as the pregnancy increases, there is a settlement of the fetus. So now we will see that as the fetal size is less than comparatively to the uterine cavity or the size, and also there is a large quantity of amniotic fluid. The fetus as the spontaneous virgin plus there are the kicking movements, so there is the fetal rotation. But as the pregnancy duration increases, fetus is not provided with the ample amount of space for its movement, because as the gestational increases, correspondingly the fetal size also increases. But there are the restrictions over the uterine size. So as the pregnancy increase in the pregnancy duration, there is also increase in the fetal size, where there is no ample amount of space. For fetal movement. So there is a restriction in the uterine size. Now, as all we know, the uterus is pyriform in shape. Let me draw the diagram. So this is the fundus, and this is the lower part of the uterus. Now what happens? The lower pole of the fetus, that is the buttocks and the limbs of the fetus, are much more bulkier than the fetal head. So according to the natural adaptation, what occurs? The fundus of the uterus is large in size and the lower part, and the uterus then tapers downward. So for the proper accommodation, the buttock will occupy the fundal region, whereas the head will lie in the lower part of the uterine cavity. So the bulkier lower pole, that is the buttocks and the limbs, will acquire the fundal region of uterus, and the fetal head, which is relatively smaller in size than the lower pole of the uterus, will acquire the lower part of the uterus near the pelvic cavity. This is the natural adaptation. And if there is any interference in this natural adaptation, it will reverse the polarity of the fetus. So if there is any interference in the size of the fundus due to any factors, or if there is no proper if the uterine cavity is small, or if the space around the fetus increases, or if it is small, or there is no proper space for the head for its resting, then these factors will influence the polarity of the fetus, and the polarity of the fetus gets reversed, which is called as the breech presentation. Now we will move towards the etiology of the breech presentation. To remember the etiology of the breech presentation, we will divide in the factors into 3 factors. So the first one will be the maternal factors. So what are the maternal factors? First we will see the Mullerian anomalies. The anomalies are present in the uterus, or the congenital anomalies of the uterus. So they may be septate uterus, or the bicornuate uterus. What happens in such Mullerian or congenital anomalies? There is the fetus do not get sufficient amount of space for rotation, so there might be the chances of the breech presentation. Then the second is the contracted pelvis. Third one, soft tissue fibroids, such as if there are soft tissue fibroids, if there is cervical fibroid. What happens due to this? These are the factors which prevent head entering in the lower cavity of the uterus. Prevents head from entering the cavity, lower cavity. So there is not ample amount of space for the head to move downwards. And if the mother, habitual smoker, or if the mother is diabetic, what will happen? These habits or the diabetes will affect onto the neuroendocrine system of the fetus, which will lead to the hypotonia. That is, there is a incoordination between the muscular tone, so there will be no proper kicking movements of the fetus. The second factors, these were the maternal factors. Now we will see the pregnancy factors, which will arise in the pregnancy itself and which will reverse the polarity of the fetus. So the first one is prematurity. Now due to any reason, if there is a premature vaginal delivery, then there are the chances of the breech presentation maximum, because the fetus size is less than the uterine cavity, as we have seen earlier. So the fetus will rotate inside the uterine cavity, and we have seen that around 28th week of pregnancy there is higher incidence rate. So there are the higher chances of a breech presentation in prematurity. So premature delivery, will increase chances of breech presentation because the fetus size is less and the fetus has not been stabilized yet. The second one will be polyhydramnios or oligohydramnios. Now we will see in polyhydramnios first. What will happen? For whole term of the pregnancy, that's from the 28th week till the up to the term delivery, there will be the increased amount of amniotic fluid. So ample amount of space, which will be the increased space for fetus to move. And there is a reverse condition in oligohydramnios, decreased amount of AF, amniotic fluid. So there will be no space for the stability. And if the baby is from first only, if the baby is in the breech presentation, there will be no rotation or there will be no stability to the fetus. So there will be the breech presentation. Then the third one will be the placenta previa, that is abnormal implantation of placenta. So there may be conditions such as the placenta previa. So this will affect the head from entering the pelvic cavity. Or if there is the cornual or fundal implantation of placenta. Plantation of placenta. So what will occur over here? There will not be specific, or there will not enough adequate amount of space for the buttocks to sit inside the fundal region of the uterus. So the lower cavity will now provide the adequate space for the buttocks, so there will be the higher chances of breech presentation. Now we will see the fetal factors. The third one are the fetal factors. In the fetal factors, first one is the multiple pregnancy. And twin is the commonest multiple pregnancy we usually find. What happens? One or the both of the fetus will present by the breech, so as to adapt the relatively, as there is a relatively small room for both of the fetus, one or both the fetus will adapt the breech for the adequate amount. So one or both will present the breech presentation, will present breech, as there is a relatively small room for both of the fetus to stay. So one or the both will present the breech presentation. Will be anomalies, fetal anomalies, which has mainly includes the hydrocephalus. So when hydrocephalus, there will be increase in the size of the head of the baby. Increase in head size of fetus. So now, for proper accommodation, this will acquire the fundal region. The chances increases for its acquirement of the fundal region, so there will be the breech presentation. There are the congenital anomalies, such as the trisomy. So these are the factors which influence or reverse the polarity of the fetus, and there are the higher chances in these conditions that the fetus will represent the breech presentation. Now after the etiology of the breech presentation, we will move forward towards the position of the fetus. Now, as in the breech presentation, always remember the sacrum is the denominator. So in breech, sacrum is the denominator. So denominator is the arbitrary bony fixed point which divides the maternal pelvis into quadrants. With respect to that arbitrary bony fixed point, the maternal pelvis is divided into quadrants so that we could fix the proper position of the fetus and will prognosis the delivery. So sacrum is the denominator, and keeping this in mind, the positions are divided into 4. So the positions are: first one is the left sacro-anterior. Same goes with the right sacro-anterior. Third one is the right sacro-posterior. And left sacro-posterior. So these are the 4 positions where the fetus will reside. Left sacro-anterior is the most common position which we found. This is the most common position, left sacro-anterior position. So for better understanding, I have drawn here the diagram of the this being the maternal pelvis. This is the maternal sacrum, pubic symphysis, iliopubic eminences. These are 2 ischial spines, and this is the left sacroiliac joint and the right sacroiliac joint. I have written here, this is the left side and this is the right side. So in the left sacro-anterior, which is the most common breech position, the sacral will lie, the sacrum of the fetus will lie over here. Okay, so this will be the position of the sacrum, whereas in the right sacro-anterior position, the sacrum will lie here and behind the right iliopubic eminence. In the left sacro-posterior position, the sacrum will lie in the left behind the left sacroiliac joint, whereas in the right sacro-posterior position, the sacrum of the fetus will lie behind the right sacroiliac joint. So now we will move forward towards the mechanism of the labor in the breech presentation. Here we will see the sacro-anterior position. So now in the mechanism of the breech delivery, the principal movements occur at the 3 places in the fetus. So I have drawn the 3 columns so it will be easy to learn. So the first is the buttocks, mechanism of the delivery of the buttocks. Second one is the delivery of the shoulder, and the third is the delivery of the head. So now these first 2 successive parts, which are bigger in size than compared to the head, but these 2 are the compressible parts during delivery. So there will be no any issue in the mechanism and the delivery of these 2. But the head being non-molding part over here due to the rapid descent or due to improper uterine contractions, if they occur improper in tone, then there might be difficulty faced in the head, delivery of the head. So we will see stepwise. So for proper understanding, I will draw a diagram over here. Now if this is the maternal pelvis, this being the maternal sacrum, pubic symphysis, iliopubic eminence, sacroiliac joint. As we have seen, left sacro-anterior position is the most common position. So we will see the left sacro-anterior vaginal breech delivery. This is the left side. This is the right side. So in left sacro anterior position, the sacrum of the fetus will lie behind the right iliopubic eminence, and the engaging diameter over here of the buttocks will be the bitrochanteric diameter. So the diameter of engagement of the buttock is one of the oblique diameters. So this will be the bitrochanteric diameter. I will name it as AB. So this will be the position of the BB. AB is the engaging diameter. So in sacroanterior position, the engaging diameter will be lying at any of the oblique diameters of the inlet of the pelvic cavity. So here AB is the engaging diameter, that is equals to bitrochanteric diameter, and this is equals to 10 centimeter. We'll again revise. In the maternal pelvic cavity, in the left sacroanterior position, sacrum will lie behind the left iliopubic eminence, and the engaging diameter will be the bitrochanteric diameter, which is 10 centimeter. As the breech presentation will get engaged, this bitrochanteric diameter will get engaged in one of the oblique cavity of the inlet, one of the oblique diameter of the this position will be in the left sacroanterior position, and this position of the bitrochanteric diameter will be in the right sacroanterior position. Now what will occur? There will be the descent of the buttocks inside the cavity of the pelvis. There will be the further descent of the buttocks inside the cavity. Up till when the anterior buttock will touch the pelvic floor, and according to the Hart's rule, any bony fixed point which touches the pelvic floor first will rotate anteriorly. So I'll show you by diagram. There is a descent and the anterior buttock will touch the pelvic floor first. Iliopubic eminence. What will occur? The anterior buttock, that is the B point, anterior buttock, will touch the pelvic floor first, and it will rotate anteriorly. So it will rotate 1/8 anteriorly. So what will be the final position after the rotation? The anterior buttock after rotation will lie behind the pubic symphysis. There is an anterior rotation. After that, the bitrochanteric diameter will be the AP diameter now, and the sacrum will move along the ischial spines. Behind the ischial spine, the anterior buttock will lie behind the pubic symphysis. This will be the position after 1/8 anterior rotation of the circle. So now we have seen that the anterior shoulder will now, the anterior buttock will now lie behind the pubis symphysis, and the buttocks are delivered by the lateral flexion. And the anterior buttock is delivered first. The anterior buttock is delivered first. Then we'll move towards the delivery of the shoulder. We'll again draw the diagram, same diagram. These are the iliopubic eminences, ischial spines, sacroiliac joint. Now, the engaging diameter of the shoulders will lie in the same plane as that of the buttocks, because the shoulder and the buttocks lie in the same plane. So, the engaging diameter is the same oblique diameter as that of the buttocks. Remember, you have to remember over here. So, this will be the engaging oblique diameter of the shoulder. I'll dream it as CD. And this is the bisacromial diameter. So, in the buttock it was bitrochanteric diameter, and in the shoulder it is the bisacromial diameter. So, CD is the engaging diameter of the shoulder, which is called as the bisacromial diameter, and it is measured 12 centimeter. Now again the descent will occur such that the shoulder, the anterior shoulder will touch the pelvic floor first, will cause the internal rotation. So there will be the internal rotation, 1/8 internal rotation, as same as that of the buttock. Show you a diagrammatic representation. This will be the maternal sacrum, pubic symphysis, ischial spines. This will be the position after the internal rotation. The anterior shoulder will lie behind the pubis symphysis. Again the delivery will occur by the lateral flexion. But now here it is the important differential point between the buttocks and the shoulder, that the posterior buttock is delivered first. Posterior shoulder is delivered first. So this is the main difference. Here the anterior buttock is delivered first, whereas in the shoulder it is the posterior shoulder that is delivered first. This is the main difference. Otherwise all the mechanism is the same, as the plane of the buttocks, that is bitrochanteric diameter, and the plane of the shoulder is in the same plane, the same. Here it is bitrochanteric, it is the bisacromial diameter. Both the deliveries occurs through the lateral flexion, but here anterior buttock is delivered first and posterior shoulder is delivered first. After the shoulder delivery, there will be the delivery of the head. So now here there is a difference. The engaging diameter of the head will be that to the opposite of the oblique diameter to that of the buttocks and the shoulder. See here. So now this was the this will be the buttocks and this will be the shoulder diameter. But it will be opposite for the engaging diameter. The engaging diameter of the head will be like this. This being the maternal sacrum. So the engaging diameter will be opposite to that of the engaging diameter, oblique diameter of buttocks and the shoulder. And the engaging diameter will be, we have represented here EF, which will be the suboccipitofrontal. Which is the 10 centimeter. This will be in the left sacroanterior position. If it is in the transverse diameter, it will be like this. This is left sacroanterior position. So the diameter of the head will be in this direction, opposite to that of the shoulder and the buttock engaging diameter. Again there will be the descent with the flexion, and the occiput will touch the pelvic floor first. So there will be the anterior 1/8 rotation, such that the occiput will lie behind the pubic symphysis. With the anterior rotation. So if it is this oblique diameter, there will be the anteriorly 1/8 rotation, and if the suboccipitofrontal diameter is the transverse diameter, then it will be the 2/8 rotation. Here I have shown the 1/8 rotation. So now the occiput lies behind the pubis symphysis. Now through the flexion there will be the descent occurring, and the head is born, delivered by flexion, such that successively following things will be seen. First thing we'll see is the chin, then there will be the mouth, then the nose, then the forehead, vertex, and then the occiput will be appeared. Now you have to remember the whole of this head delivery or the expulsion of the head from the pelvic cavity is entirely dependent on the bearing down efforts of the mother and not at all on the uterine contractions. So if there will be the heavy uterine contractions or good uterine contractions, but the mother is not bearing down as she should, in the amount she should, then there might be the problem for the delivery of the head. So this was the mechanism of the labor in the sacroanterior position. First there will be the delivery of the buttocks, then the shoulders, and then the head. Here we have seen the left sacroanterior breech delivery, whereas the engaging diameter of the buttocks will be the bitrochanteric diameter, that is 10 centimeter, and it will be lying in one of the oblique diameters of the inlet of the cavity. It might be this diameter or it might be this diameter. Then there will be the descent such that the anterior buttock will touch the pelvic floor first, and there will be the anterior rotation so that the anterior buttock will lie behind the pubic symphysis, and through the lateral flexion the anterior buttock will be delivered first, and then the posterior buttock will be delivered, and then the limbs will be delivered. After that there will be the delivery of the shoulder. So it is the same engaging diameter, that is the oblique diameter, same as that of the buttocks, this between the sacroiliac joint and the iliopubic eminence. The engaging diameter is the bisacromial diameter, which is 12 centimeter. Again the anterior shoulder will touch the pelvic floor, and according to Hart's rule it will rotate anteriorly. So 1/8 rotation is shown here, such that the anterior shoulder will lie behind the pubic symphysis. Through the lateral flexion there will be delivery of the shoulder. First the posterior shoulder is delivered, your anterior buttock, your posterior shoulder, followed by the delivery of the anterior shoulder. After that we'll see the mechanism of the head. Now the oblique diameter occupied, which is the engaging diameter occupied by the head, is opposite to that of the engaging diameter of the buttock or the shoulder. So this is the diameter here I have shown. Now the occiput hits the pelvic floor first and rotates anteriorly such that it lies behind the pubic symphysis. Here the engaging diameter is the suboccipitofrontal diameter, which is 10 centimeter. There is anterior rotation such that occiput lies behind the pubis symphysis, and the head is delivered by the flexion. The delivery of the head is wholly depend upon the bearing down efforts of the mother, then not at all dependent upon the uterine contractions. The delivery of the head will be like, first chin will come out, then mouth, then we'll see the nose, then we'll see the forehead, then will be the vertex and occiput, and then the head is delivered. This was the mechanism of the labor in the breech presentation.